Hey everyone, just give me a second here while I get set up on all the other streaming platforms. Now, there we go. Go live. Just give me a second. It takes a second to connect all of the simulcast options. Here we are of uh, Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. So bear with me. I'm going to get started in 2 seconds. Okay. We should be good to go there. All right. Hi, team. Let me put the comments on here. Oops. Is that what I wanted? Yeah. All right. Hi, everyone. So it's just a delay to get it all set up. I'm just going to check that I am live on Facebook because I don't see those notifications come through on my back end platform here. Oh, there we are. We are live. We are live on the Facebook. I get to be live on the Instagram. I see Dave. Dave joined the Instagram. Okay, great. Let me take this. It's just a little bit to get set up here, and then we are good to go. All right. I see everyone there. Let me just make sure. I want to make sure I get your comments. I think that's right there. All right. If you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, just give me a hi in the chat so I know that you're there. You can see me, you can hear me, and that we are good to go. Misty has joined on Instagram. Okay, Misty, you can hear me, yeah? Just getting a little test run here as I go live and simulcast on multiple platforms. So let me know. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I am Jody Bentley. Hi, Shannon. Dave. Dave says hi on AIG. Okay, perfect. Oops, let me put this back up here. All right, team. Hi, I'm Jody Bentley. I am an actor. I am the CEO of Actor Insider and the Actor's Office, and coming live today on YouTube, on Instagram, in my Facebook group, the Actors Workspace. You're sitting in. Yes, you can hear. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Misty. Just going live to really talk about how to get the acting career that you really want, to answer any and all questions you have about that, answer any and all questions you have about my membership, the Actors Think Tank. I've been doing a free 5-day training all week. Hi, Manuel. Thanks for saying hi. In my Facebook group, the Actors Workspace, and on Instagram. And right now, registration is open for my membership, the Actors Think Tank. And so I'm coming on to answer any questions that you have about that and how that can benefit you and support you in your acting career as we move forward in these new times and new ways of doing business. And I think it's really important to pay attention to what's happening in our industry, pay attention to the trends of this business, and being on top of that for your own career to know how to move forward with structure and ease and clarity and joy. Don't we all want joy in our acting career? Can I please get something in the chat of that people want joy in their acting career? Can you please let me know that you agree with me on that? Because I think that's something we tend to forget about, is the joy. Let's see. Hi, Shannon. Who else is there? I don't know who that is. Tattoo Movie. Hello, Last Tattoo Movie. So glad you are here. And I already said hi to Emmanuel. And let me see. Let me just making sure. Oh, it's private chat. I think these are the comments there. Okay, great. All right. I'm going to turn this off. So any questions you have, please put in our chat on Facebook, on Instagram, or on YouTube if you are watching from there. I am still figuring this out a little bit. Now I don't know how to get rid of the thing that I put on. Oh, there we go. Let's get rid of that. All right. Hi, everyone. All right. So let's dive on in. I'm sure you have some questions, and Joy, please. Yes, Carrie, right? For sure. Carrie on Facebook said joy. Yes, to the joy. Because, I mean, gosh, you've probably heard me say this a little bit now, but it warrants repeating that it has been a rough 4 years for artists. It just has. It's still going on. We have the strikes going on right now for our voiceover video game artists, right? So it has been a rough 4 years. We've all been really resilient. We've managed to push through. A lot of us have adapted. We know we're doing our self tapes. We're trying to figure out new ways of the industry. And I think by now, a lot of us are a little bit disheartened and a little bit burnt out because we thought the industry would be back. But I gotta say, you guys, I am feeling super hopeful right now about the trajectory of where the industry is going. Just from my own personal experience, I just booked a SAG Industrial. I just booked an audiobook. I just got an audition right before coming on here for a lead in a new series. So there things are happening. My husband works for Disney. He's one of the head production accountants. They picked up a pilot. Their second episode is shooting this week. So, and they have two other ones coming down the pike. So things are happening. Things are picking up. Governor Newsom here in LA, we just approved some tax credits. 51 new films will be filmed in Los Angeles. 46 of those are indie films. We're seeing a huge resurgence of indie films. So we're now on the precipice of things really moving forward. And so I do want to, that's why I'm here today to answer your questions. But I just wanted to say that because I know that it can feel a little bit disheartened. But I want you to know that yes, the industry has changed. Yes, we're going to be continually changing. Yes, there is AI that we're going to be constantly, I don't even want to say fighting against, constantly standing in alignment with I'll say to fight for our humanity, right? We're going to be we're going to be navigating those waters. That's just what this is going to be. But I want you to know that the work is out there, that there is work to be had. There are auditions happening. The new film's being shot in LA that's going to bring 6,500 jobs for cast and crew into Los Angeles. That is huge. There's a huge studio being built in Texas right now. That is huge. People wouldn't be investing money in Atlanta, in Texas, in Los Angeles right now if there weren't productions to be had. So are there less productions than there have been in the past? Yes. Yes, there are. Are there opportunities coming down the pike? Yes, yes, there are. So what does that mean? It just means you need to be ready. You need to be ready to compete at a higher level because now the competition is greater. It's just what it is. So I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm not here to tell you you can't have this career. You can have this career. I believe that you can if you want it. You just got to know what you're stepping into and be prepared. And that is why I did this 5-day training that I did this past week in the Actors Workspace for my community, because we get to be prepared. Or you get to be prepared. I want you to be competing at a higher level. I don't want there to be holes and gaps in your the way that you're running your business. I don't want you to keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, even though the industry has changed. I don't want you to feel disheartened. I don't want you to get bitter, jaded, and burnt out and leave the industry. And you have power to change that. You have control over your acting career. You just get to focus on your business in a new way. You get to do things differently. And you get to focus on what you can control. And that has been one of the biggest things that we've been talking about in my community the past week. Let me know if any of this resonates with you. Let me know, for those of you watching, if any of this is resonating with you right now. Let me know. Because I think that was my tea. I think this is really important. I think it's a really important conversation to have, to go, yeah, okay, I know the trends have changed. I know I keep trying to do the same thing, fit in a square peg in a round hole. I know that what I've been doing hasn't historically gotten me to where I want to be. So what does that mean? It just means you get to change something. Just means you get to change something. All right, let me know. Let me know how you're feeling about this. And look, this is a Q&A on how you can get the acting career that you want. So I want to know your questions. So whether you're watching this on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, please let me know what is going on for you. What questions do you have? What questions do you have about my program, the Actors Think Tank, and how that can support you? It is an all-inclusive membership that I started in 2019 because my clients urged me to, because they wanted everything that I was teaching to be in one place. And that is what it is. It is everything that I teach in one place. Because here's the thing, is what I want to just talk about, really what it takes to really have a successful acting career. Let me take this down here. Hide. There we go. What does it take to have a successful acting career? I get this question all the time. People, how can I be a successful actor? How can I break to the next level? How can I get an agent? How can I get more auditions? the answer is very simple. It's just about putting in the work. But here's my answer. It's know thyself. Know thyself. You get to know your excuses and your limiting beliefs that get in your way, because most of the time it is your self-sabotage and your brain protecting you, keeping you small and keeping you playing safe. That is what is stopping you in your career. You get to know thyself. Know thyself. You get to know your brand. What are the stories that you tell best? What stories fit you like a glove? How are you perceived? How do you want to be perceived? What's the legacy you want to leave in this business? What are the roles you really want to play? What are the stories that you want to tell? You get to know these things. You get to know thyself. So then there is clarity for the industry. If you don't know, how do you expect other people to know? That's just insane. It's just insane. You get to be clear on who you are, and it is not limiting. Branding is completely expansive. It is a holistic, expansive experience for you to tell the world and tell the industry, this is who I am. Know thyself. Once you know that about you, then you get to package it. Then you get to go, okay, now I know what headshots I need. Now I know what clips to have on my Actors Access. Now I know what to lead with on my reel. Now I know the color scheme, my fonts, what my email signature is going to be. Now I know how to package my resume, my end cards, my title cards, press kit, thank you cards, business cards, all of it. Then you know how to package all that. Why? Because you know yourself. You know yourself. Then once you've done all that, then you get to pitch. Then you get to do an agent campaign. Then you get to do networking strategies. Then you get to build relationships. Then you get to focus on social media and how you're promoting yourself to the world. Then we can start to have outside the box strategy to pitch you to the world. But all of that starts with knowing yourself. And I know that you didn't. Oh my God, we had so many other questions happening on Instagram that I just saw. And I know that you didn't become an actor to go, okay, I'm going to figure out my brand and I'm going to get business strategies and I'm going to get networking strategies. I know that's not why you became an actor. I get it. I get it. But guess what? That is what the industry is about. That is the work you get to do now as an artist to be able to act. I can't tell you how many times I sit down with clients and actors and I go, well, what do you really want? I just want to act, Jody. I don't want to have to do any of this stuff. I just want to act. Well, yeah, you know what? Me too. Me too. I just want to show up on set. I get it. I get it. And to be able to do that, we get to do all this foundational work first. All right, let me see what's been going on here on Instagram. It didn't scroll automatically for me, so now I see I've missed a ton of shit. So here we go. Shannon, we could use some joy. Yes. Hi, Stephanie. Last tattoo movie is Stephanie. Hello. Nice to meet you. All right, Shannon, do you recommend actors reach out to casting directors who have booked them for projects to personally thank them? If so, what would you say is an appropriate way to go about doing that? That's a great question, Shannon. Look, if someone did something nice for you, if they referred you to somebody or did something, wouldn't you thank them? So why wouldn't we thank casting? Why wouldn't we reach out to them? I think it's just about being human and being really simple in that approach. So you could say something like, "Hey, Stephen, um, thank you so much for calling me in for," and this is about a booking. It's not even about just calling you in. Thank you so much for calling me in for X project. So excited that I could be of service to the vision of this team. I really appreciate your belief in me. Here's to the next one. Best of luck and best of luck with the rest of your casting. Something super simple like that, Shannon. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. But yes, it's always a good idea to thank people. Here's the thing, actors are constantly asking for things. We're constantly asking, can you get me in for this? Can you look at my headshots? Can you look at my reel? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? We're constantly reaching out to people and asking for things. But to simply thank is, I think, a lost art. So, Shannon, yes, thank them. Why not? Why not? That's a great question. Let me see if you said anything else. All right, let me just say hi to Carol. Hi, Lucia. We got Val, Sandy, Margaret, Malgrazata. Hello on Instagram joining. I think we have a couple people here on YouTube. Let me know that you're here. And if you're watching on the Facebook group, let me know. I see Emmanuel and Carrie there. Let me know. All right, let me go back to some of these questions. All right, we did that. Emmanuel moved over to Instagram. All right, question. Yes, Emmanuel. Should you approach your relationship with your agent from the perspective of offering your services to them rather than expecting them to work for you? I'm wrapping my head around your question. It's a business partnership, right? Because look, what's rubbing me the wrong way is like expecting them to work for you. That's not a way to go into a partnership. Of course, you're going to have expectations of communication, and that they're submitting you, and that they'll respond to your emails or your questions that you have, right? So there are expectations in there, but expecting them to work for you, even though they are working for you, right? They're getting 10% of your income. They are essentially working for you, but your first part of that was offering your services. So my question to you, Emmanuel, is why is it one or the other? Why can't it be both? When I'm working with my team, I'm providing a service. I have a gift that I'm sharing. I have a service that I'm sharing that I know I'm going to do good work to book work. So I have a service that I'm providing, and then they are the salesperson for that product, for that service. So I think that's why I was wrapping my head around your question, because it's not an either or. It's a yes and, it's a both. It's a partnership. How can you treat your agent like a partnership? How can you reach out to them with ideas and brainstorming, and coming at it with like a we and an us, as opposed to you work for me and or I'm providing you a service, do this job. I think you're missing out on real connection, partnership, and growth if we're not thinking of it yes and with that, Emmanuel. Let me know if that makes sense or if you have a follow-up question to that. But I think the agent manager relationship um uh is an interesting one. And I think we spend so much time wanting to get the meetings, get the interviews. A lot of times we don't even prep for interviews. That's a whole other conversation. But a lot of times we will prep for, want to get these meetings to land the agent. But then we spend no time nurturing that agent relationship, or really thinking about what does it mean to be a good actor in partnership with an agent or a manager. And really the nurturing of that relationship is super important. So, Emmanuel, thank you for that question. And it's a complete yes and. It's both. It's totally both. All right. Misty. Misty says, that's the main reason I did the training and joined the Actors Think Tank, to understand the new way of learning a system that can help me learn to approach my career as a business and change. Yes. 1,000%. Misty, I'm so glad that you've jumped on board, that you're part of the think tank. I can't wait to support you. I've seen you in the community already. I was just in there before jumping on this live and answering a question that someone asked about limiting beliefs and excuses. That's part of my curriculum in there. There's so many things we get to do to reframe our mind and reframe our business. And again, all of it is in your control. And that's what we get to remember. That's what we get to remember. But I do want to say, oops, there we go, that the early bird pricing for the Actors Think Tank does end tonight at 9 p.m. Pacific. That is the link there, theactorsthinktank.com. Go take a look, see what that pricing is, see what it entails. There is a lot. There's a lot. This is not a course where I'm like, I'm going to teach you to get an agent in this course. And then I'm going to teach you something else in this course. Then I'm going to teach you branding in this course. Then I'm going to teach you this in this course. My membership has everything. It's my entire branding system, my entire marketing system, headshot system, getting an agent system, networking system, goal system, financial system, mindset system. It is all in one course. Why? Because I believe that's what it takes to run a successful business. It's holistic. You can't have one piece without the other. So it drives me batty when someone's like, well, yeah, I just bought this networking course. I'm like, okay, cool. But have you done branding? Have you done this other stuff? Have you done all that? Right? Because that's a part of it. But a lot of coaches don't talk about it in a holistic way. They're just trying to upsell you all these different things. That's why I include everything in my membership. So again, that early bird pricing does end tonight And just remember, I am an actor like you. I am in the trenches with you. I'm constantly updating information in there. Starting next week, we're going to be adding in some chat GPT prompts that are really useful and beneficial in terms of data research and brainstorming of how to help you. I don't believe that chat GPT has any place in my artistry, but I do want to find how it's useful in my business. And I've been really working on that and playing around with that for actors of how we can get some of this work done faster because there's a lot of work we do get to do. All right. Thank you, Misty, for sharing that. Let's see. Hi, Carol. Carol joined. Shannon said, yes, thank you so much. Great. I'm just going to come over here and refresh Facebook in case something's going on. Because usually I get a lot more comments coming through there. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Okay, great. Great, great, great. All right. And let me go back to the chat here. Okay, here we are. Hi. Hi, Troper from Mexico. Hi, Lucia. Let's see. Margaret says, oh, geez, getting a call. This was great. Thank you. You're welcome, Margaret. All right, Dave. Hi, Dave. Dave says, what are the top 2 to 3 things that an actor can do in the short term to increase our profile? You have a follow-up. Let me just take a sip of tea. Meaning the top things that we can do to kickstart things while working on all of the elements. Let me wrap my head around your question, only because this might be different for people. What are the top 2 to 3 things an actor can do in the short term to increase our profile? Meaning the top things we can do to kickstart things while working on all of those elements. I see. Yes, because some of this stuff takes time, right? I think that's what you're getting at, Dave, right? It's like when we're talking about building a brand, packaging a brand, doing all these things. But look, I believe that, really building your brand is about a 3 to 4 week process. I think headshots can be, depending on how much wardrobe you have, how prepared you are, a 4 to 6 week process, right? So we're looking at about a couple months right there. Then we could start an agent campaign. So, I say most of my clients, it's probably a good 6-month journey. I mean, some people can take up to a year, right? And that's why I do have a yearly membership for the Actors Think Tank, because a lot of people take a year. Why? Because life intrudes. You have day jobs. There's other relationships. You're going to get bookings. We're going to do these other things, right? So sometimes it can take time. So Dave, I appreciate this question. But the top 2 to 3 things you can do, I think, while you're doing this is reaching out to relationships that you've already created that you've probably let fall through the cracks. Right. One of the assignments that I just gave in my 5-day training was who are reaching out to a producer, actor, writer, director, whoever it may be, reaching out to 2 to 3 people a week, or a person a day if you want to, and someone that like was a writer on this project you were on, or a director, or whoever it is, and just say, oh my God, you know what? You just popped in my head. I loved working on that project with you. Your writing is so layered and nuanced. I really just love speaking your words. Just wanted to say hi. Let me know how things are going. I trust you're well. So that's going to help us before you even have like all the pieces in place. Those people already know you. You know what I mean? So that is going to help you build those relationships, solidify those relationships. And then when we can start getting our maintenance system in place to be able to maintain those contacts even more in our relationships with those people even more. But I think if you can focus on reconnecting with the people you let fall through the cracks, I would start there. So for me, that's probably the number one thing to do. The second thing to do while you're doing all this stuff though, Dave, I think it's really, again, and some of this stuff takes time. And I'm not saying like put a pause on your entire career and do this work. We obviously are going to be moving forward. Auditions will be coming in. You'll still be reaching out to people. You're still going to do self-tape. You're still going to do things, right? But I do think sometimes we need some space. And so one of the top things also that I think you can do, because, a lot of yes, Jody, I need branding. I haven't done that work. I'm not getting seen for the roles that I want to get seen, or I am getting seen for the roles that I want to get seen, but I'm not booking any of them. So there's still a disconnect there, right? So we need to examine that. So some of the stuff, so you're going to start with brand, and some of that stuff's going to take time. But I also invite you that it's more so than just branding, or that one piece of your business, of really taking just brainstorming, setting a timer for 20 minutes and go, okay, what do I really want? I really want to be a series regular. Okay, where am I now? I'm auditioning at the co-star level. Okay, so what is in the gap? What is in the gap is getting those kinds of auditions. My mindset, am I really ready do I believe that I'm worthy of those series reg auditions? Am I self-sabotaging? Does that make me feel comfortable? Do I get scared? Like really just starting to analyze and assess what is in the gap? How are you feeling? To start to put the puzzle together of your strategy, you know? So it's not just about, okay, let me dive into brand and packaging and this or that. It's like, no, let's take a moment and really sit with it and assess to know what the holes are. Because I think so many actors put on their blinders and go, right? That they know, okay, I got to keep putting out auditions and I got to, oh, maybe oh, the headshots aren't working. Maybe I need new headshots. And we just keep doing the same thing, right? Getting a new headshot session isn't always the answer. I'll just say that. Most of the times it's not the answer. So I think it's really important, Dave, to um, understand what the holes are, what is missing, what's in the gap for you, right? So then we can create a quarterly plan. Then we can create an outline of the trajectory of your career and all the pieces of what we need to do. And this is hard for actors. I get it. This is what I help people do in the membership is going, what's really going on? Do this lesson, and this lesson, because by May 1st, we want to be here because then we're going to start a campaign and then we're going to do this. Like sometimes you need an outside eye for that. But I really think one, you can start reaching out to people and build those relationships again. And two, you can get really freaking clear on what are the holes in your own acting career. Because a lot of times we go, oh, no, it's fine. I have an agent. It's fine. No, my headshots are good. They're good enough. Are they really good enough? Is your agent fine? Are you doing all that you can do? I can't tell you how many times clients come to me and say, but Jody, I'm doing everything. And then when we really talk it through, they're not doing everything. They're in busy work. They're thinking busy work is everything. And there's a big distinction between busy work and work that will actually move the needle. And that's really important to distinguish and understand. Dave, let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. All right. Hey, Robert, how are you? I have to look over here for my Facebook comments. That's why I'm looking down. Robert, that's what I need to learn. Where, when, and how I can submit for auditions. I like doing background extra work, but it's time for the next steps. Great, Robert. So the next steps here, let me change this here. Just want to say we can, ask your questions. So Robert, the next steps, I have a lot of clients that come to me who are like, hey, I've been doing background work and now I want to get seen for principal work. And that is a transition, right? And it's a different way of owning and approaching your career. Because a lot of times with, extra work or background work, it's like, do you have, a tux? Do you have this? Does your face look like a good fit in a Western? Okay, cool. Right. But now we got to look at really who are you on screen? What is your essence? What are the stories that you want to tell? So this is where the branding really comes in. So all of my clients who come to me who have been doing extra work, I'm like, we got to do the branding. We got to do the branding to really know what does the camera see and how to embrace that brand, take ownership of that brand, and really for you to start thinking about the trajectory of your career in terms of branding themes and the stories that you want to tell. What is that legacy you want to leave? What kind of career do you want to have? So Robert, is really about understanding your brand, your essence, your niche, then being able to package that. So when you're getting submitted for these principal roles now, they go, oh yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for, right? So we're taking that brand and manifesting it across all of your marketing tools, which are going to be different than the marketing tools that you're using for background work, right? It's a different medium. So I think it's about clarity and it's about specificity. Robert says he's currently on set doing background work. Robert, I love it. I have a lot of clients that make their money and get their insurance weeks by doing background work. It's a great way to be on set, to learn, to be part of the action, to pay attention. But then when you're going to start to level up your career, we got to make some changes in the strategy. right? And that really does start with branding and marketing, and then strategizing how to get an agent, launching your agent campaign, getting the tools, the sales tools that your agent is going to need, right? Because you might not have clips like that right now. So we got to really focus on what's your brand and what are these clips we can create so your team has material to pitch you for roles. So it's really about doing that foundational piece. And I say foundational piece, but most actors skip it, right? And so it's not just background actors moving to principal actors. Most actors skip this step because they just want to submit for auditions, but then they realize they get to do more. So Robert, that's how I would approach it. And that's exactly what I do in the Actors Think Tank. People know me for brand. People come to me for branding, and then they stay for strategy and networking and everything else that I provide, and realizing how important that is in one's career. So I would really urge you to take a look. Here's the link again. Again, our early bird pricing does end tonight, but I would, for any of you watching, Robert included, I would love to support you in building your brand. One thing with my membership, we have 2 Q&A calls every month for 90 minutes over Zoom. You show me what you're working on. I give you feedback. I coach you. I just had a client ask a question in the Actors Think Tank. I recorded a video and just posted it for her. I am in there answering your questions in our community, answering your questions on our Q&A calls. We have a monthly training with a guest teacher. We have a monthly goal planning session with one of our fellow Think Tank members to keep you on track, to make sure that you are on track for your goals. We have weekly work sessions. You will see me and my team 8 times a month if you want to keep you on track. Because what I'm there to do is make sure that you're walking the walk and talking the talk, just like I'm walking the walk and talking the talk, right? We're in this together. And, all of us can rise up together if we show up together. So that's what you're going to get in the think tank. You're going to get all of my systems, yes, but you're also going to get the power of community. And if this is even motivating you right now, Robert, we're going to get to do this twice a month and I get to see your face. So I really urge you to go to theactorsthinktank.com. Registration closes fully on Friday, but the early bird pricing does end tonight at 9 p.m. So take a look at that. I know you're on set right now, but take a look at that. You can email me. Let me know any questions. You can post here on the Facebook group or on Instagram, wherever you are, or on YouTube. And let me know any questions that you do have, because time is ticking to get that early bird pricing. But yeah, Robert says it's definitely time to start leveling up for sure. But like I said at the beginning, that's kind of where all of us are, right? Even in February, I was like, I upgraded my phone, but I also needed to upgrade my mic for my my self-tape setup, because my old mic didn't fit in the USB-C thing on the iPhone 16. But I was like, no, it's time to get a better mic. Let me get a better mic. Like, how are we always like upgrading, up leveling? What do I need? Yeah, I was hearing some of the traffic in the back. Let me get a better mic, right? You know what? I need to get new headshots. I'm due. Probably only going to get a couple looks though, because a lot of my shots are still working. But I know I need to up level, and I'm missing a couple things that I know of places where I want to go. So that's going to be my focus in April, right? We're constantly tweaking, up leveling. How can I do better at this? How can I get a better clip here? How can I get this here? How can I get this, right? We're constantly strategizing and refining. That's the thing. It's not just about, oh, I got my reel. It's done. My resume, it's done. My headshot's done. Your headshots might be done. You might have just got them done. Cool. You don't need them for another 3 years, right? But you got to test them. So now we got to test those shots for 3 months. What's working? What's not working? What shots have worked really well? That one hasn't gotten you a single audition. Let's rotate it out and get something else, right? We got to pay attention to the trends in your business. You got to pay attention to the trends in your business. An acting career is not on autopilot. There is always assessment involved. And I wasn't always good at that in my 20s, right? But that's why every month in the think tank, we're assessing the goals, what's working, what's not. That's why you're showing up to these Q&As. That's why you're asking questions of, hey, Jody, I just got these new picks. Can you look at them? I feel like this hasn't got me a single audition. Can we look at some other options? Yeah, let's look at some other options and see what we can do, right? Sometimes we need that outside eye to do that. So Robert, very long holding right now. Got it. So Robert, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you. Let's continue this conversation. All right, let me see what's going on here. Let's see. Patricia just joined. Anne just joined on Instagram. Hi. Dave, great plan to reflect on the holes, right? Because a lot of times we don't do that. I see that my video looks really pixelated on Instagram. I hope it's fine on your end. We're in Mercury in retrograde. It's always fun, isn't it? All right, let me know what other questions you do have. This hour is for you. I really here we go. I really want to talk about how to get you the acting career that you want. We were also talking about my membership, the Actors Think Tank. I was doing a 5-day training all week for actors, and my registration is open for my membership, the Actors Think Tank. It is my complete proven system that 2,300 actors in 17 countries have gone through. It is it's the curriculum that I've built actually in 5 business acting programs at universities and colleges that I've manifested into this membership. It's like a 1-year business plan for you of how to really build every aspect of your acting career. Because when you jump into this industry, whether you got a BFA in acting, an MFA in acting, a BA in acting, studied at a conservatory, or just took acting classes, there is no one that goes, here's your syllabus of how to be an actor, right? That doesn't exist, which is why I created the Actors Think Tank, because we don't have that. And so many of us, myself included, when I started, are guessing. I was guessing at what could work for 8 years. And I went to NYU, one of the top 3 acting schools. I went to Tisch, and I was not trained on what it took to be a successful actor. I knew my craft. I knew how to audition, but my mindset was definitely not right. I had no idea what I was doing in terms of my business. I was getting burnt out. I didn't understand my brand. I just told this story on an Instagram live yesterday. A friend a colleague was hosting me, and my one of the last roles that I did at NYU, I did a whole like Shakespeare track as well. I played Feste in Twelfth Night. So for those of you who don't know, Feste is like the clown, the Joker, right? But he is also typically a bald hunchback man. So my last role at NYU was of a bald hunchbacked man. I wore a bald cap. I changed my physicality. I grew out my armpit hair, you guys. I grew out my leg hair. I was being so in it to win it, right? And I was like, yes. And one of my acting teachers at the time, who was Stella Adler's right-hand woman when Stella Adler was alive, she would smoke cigarettes in class, and she was like, now you're an actor, right? And I was like, yes, I'm such an actor. Like, I felt like so good about it all. And then I go out in the real world, and I'm like, oh wait, I can't play a bald hunchback man. I can't play 70-year-old woman like I played in school. Like, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know how I was perceived. I didn't know how to move forward because I thought I am an actor. I can expand. I am versatile, because that's what they teach you in school. And it's lovely that they expand you as an artist in school, but then no one takes it and comes back down and go, and now this is how you're going to have a career. And that's what I'm doing for you in the think tank. Because so many people come to me and they go, Jody, my brand is versatile. No, it's not. I'm sorry. It is not. We just haven't taken the time to unmine and really discover and really know how to describe who you are and what you do. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this big, creative, lovely, versatile actor that you are and narrow it down into what's going to get you in the door, get you working to be able to expand again. And we see this countless times with name actors, right? They find their niche, they get into it, and then they expand. And then all of a sudden they sing. I didn't know they were a singer. They've been singing since they were 10. That just wasn't their in. Oh, I didn't know they could do comedy. They've always done comedy, right? Now they won an Oscar for comedy because no one thought they could do it, but they always could do it. But they knew how to play the game by their own rules. And that's what I want to teach you what to do, is how to play the game by your own rules. Let me know in the chat if this is making sense. Let me know in the chat. Malgorzata, does it work on European and local markets? Yes, I have clients in 17 countries. So I have the Czech Republic. One of my clients in the Czech Republic last year signed with actually an agent in the States. Let's see, Germany, Paris, where else? The UK, Ireland, Nigeria. I have clients in Nigeria. Oh my God, where else? I'm totally blanking. Norway, Netherlands. So yes, I have clients all over. In terms of the US, I have clients in Kansas, Miami, Atlanta, New York, LA, of course, Chicago, of course, Portland, Oregon, Texas, right? You can have a career from anywhere now. I really do believe that, right? Because of self-tapes during COVID, we are still doing self-tapes. I have so many clients who say or ask, hey, Jody, when is, film TV going to go back in the room for auditions? They're not. They're not. They might for callbacks. They probably will for chemistry reads. But even, in 2023, I had a chemistry read over Zoom, right? Because producers are all over the place, directors are all over the place. How they're going to get everyone in the same room when everyone is spaced out everywhere. So you can have a career in multiple markets now. Right. I have clients in Canada who have agents in the UK, right? So we can have careers in multiple markets, and you can have careers in European markets and still find work. I mean, the UK is really booming now. A lot of our work from the States have actually gone to the UK. So that's a trend that's been happening. My clients in Paris, I had a client in LA who moved to Paris. He speaks fluent French. He was from there, moved back. He's killing it. He's killing it. I have a client in Paris who's French. I'm trying to, we're working on getting her English self tapes to start working in the US market, right? So Malgorzata, this can work anywhere. Why? Why does this work? So I think some people don't believe me when I say that, even though I give all these client examples. When I started creating my systems, when I started researching business, I was doing it for myself, right? My whole business started very selfishly because I was not where I wanted to be in my acting career. So I started reading every freaking business book that I could read. I was reading books on branding, books on sales, networking, gosh, you name it, relationship building, everything. I was reading all types of sales books, streamlining a business, organizing a business. And I did that for about 6 months because I knew that business skills were missing for me. So everything that I've created came from business fundamentals that businesses use. And then I took a step back and said, okay, cool. I understand this philosophy of branding and how businesses do it. How can I take this and apply it to myself? How can I take this and apply it to a human being who's an artist, who's a sensitive, living, breathing creature, right? And this is how all of my systems were created. So it started off with real business fundamentals that work in the real world. And then I just morphed them for a human being and morphed them for a creative mind. And that is why they work across multiple markets, because business fundamentals don't fail. The strategy in a market might be different. For example, I know for headshots in the UK, they do not like brightly colored backgrounds. In Paris, there's way less makeup than people might wear in Los Angeles, right? We start to understand the trends of what each market is looking for, which is going to be a little bit different. And then we can start to understand the strategy, because the UK doesn't have managers. In the US, we have managers, right? So that's going to be a different strategy. We're going to approach representation in a different way. But I've really learned the different strategies in the markets and the preferences in the other markets now, which is really helping. And I have clients in all these markets, which is also really helping refine that even more. But it works because business fundamentals are business fundamentals, and they work across the board. Let me know if you have any follow-up questions there, Malgorzata. Hi, Chris. Hi, Rupinder. Hi, Keem. Thank you for joining here. So for those of you just tuning in, hi, I'm Jody Bentley. I'm the CEO of Actor Insider and the Actor's Office. We are here today with a Q&A on how to get the acting career that you want. For the last week, was hosting a 5-day training in my Facebook community called the Actors Workspace. And it's really all about the systems that an actor needs, especially to compete in the industry now. So I'm going live today to answer any questions that you have in your own acting business, or any questions you have about my membership, the Actors Think Tank, because registration is open for that. The early bird pricing does close tonight at 9 p.m. There's a website there, theactorsthinktank.com. But this is really, as I was answering Malgorzata's question, this is the stuff I've been teaching actors for years. And in 2019, I finally put it all in one place. But 2,300 actors in 17 countries have gone through these systems. 2,300 actors in 17 countries. I can honestly say, I would say 99% of them, maybe 98% of them, landed the agents and managers they wanted from doing all this work, have up-leveled their careers from doing all this work, have increased their booking ratio substantially by doing all this work, are in a far different place in their career, even 3 months into doing the work of the think tank, than when they started. Why? Again, business fundamentals work. And I've created all of this for the actor, for the creative mind to up-level, because I needed it. I wanted it when I was in my 20s, approaching my career. And it took me a long time to figure this shit out. So it took me 8 years, what I said. So this is really shortening your learning curve. That's why I say with this program, you can go from outsider to in demand in a year or less, as long as you show up and do the work, right? It's really important about doing the work. So let me know what questions that we have. Let me go here to Facebook. So let's see. John, just a naive question. What is background work? Oh, John, background work is so if you're watching a film and the two principal characters are in a coffee shop and they're having a dialogue, but in the back you see other people in the coffee shop or ordering coffee or the barista and they have no lines, that's background. Those are background actors. So you're filling in the space, you're supporting the scene with background work. But I have a lot of actors that do background work, but now they want to transition to those speaking roles. So it's about shifting your business mindset. And now it's not just about do you fit the size or are you available? It's about who are you? And when you're doing background work, that's not necessarily the first question that needs to be answered, right? So that's what that is. Let's see. Robert says, I appreciate all the information you're providing. Robert says, I've been working as a background extra. My roles have been okay. So you were answering John's question there. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let me go back here to Instagram, and again, YouTube. You're pretty quiet. If you have any questions there, would love to answer them. So for all of you, I am going live on my YouTube channel, Actor Insider. I am live on Actor Insider on Instagram, and I am live in my Facebook group called the Actors Workspace. So Malgorzata says, thank you. In Poland is hard because every casting director is on a different page with what they want and like. Well, you know what? Every casting director in the States is on a different page with what they want and like. Every casting director is going to run their business differently. That's okay. We get to understand there's certain preferences. But the bigger question, Malgorzata, is how do you want to run your business? Who are you? Where do you want to go? What's the legacy you want to leave? What are the goals that you have for you? Does that exist in Poland? Does it exist in Bulgaria? Bulgaria is a huge freaking market right now. Actually, I have a client in Bulgaria who is wanting to me to teach something out there, obviously over Zoom, because that Eastern European market is huge. There's so much going on. So many productions are going to Bulgaria. So it might be, Malgorzata, about expanding your mindset a little bit. And this is the strategy we can work on in the think tank is who are the producers, writers, directors in Eastern Europe. Let's not, everyone wants to focus on casting. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. We get to do that, but this industry is more than just casting directors. There's producers, there's writers, there's directors, there's assistant directors, there's up and coming casting associates. There's other actors. There's so many other people where we could be networking and building relationships with to level up to that next place. So I get it. But everyone is going to be specific, right? Casting directors here. Oh, I hate it when actors do this. Or casting directors, oh, I hate it when they do this or never send this or never do that. Everyone's going to have their own preferences. And that's okay. They're allowed. You have your own preferences about your own boundaries in life and what you like in life. You have your own preferences and boundaries, I trust, in your own acting business. If you don't, let's do the work in the think tank because you need to get some boundaries, so that way you don't get bitter, jaded, and burnt out in this industry. You need to know your value system and who you are and how you want to run your business. Those are all very important questions to be asking. Those are the questions that an actor who is in it to win it and has longevity in this career is asking. The actors who are just want to book something now, how do I get more auditions? How do I get this? How do I get famous? Those are not the questions to be asking right now. The questions are how can I build my career for sustainability, for longevity, and to compete at a higher level to create more opportunities for myself? That's the question you need to be asking. That's the question you need to be asking. Emmanuel, do shows that get pitched to streaming services like Netflix go through a pilot season like with TV shows, or they go through a different process? That's a great question. The streaming platforms has really changed the environment, right? Like it used to be, right? Pilot season was started in January and February, right? And then these new pilots they'd shoot new pilot episodes. They'd have, they'd go to the upfronts, they would pitch, they get their advertisers, they decide what they were moving forward with, and so like January through April was like the big time where people would buy things, shoot pilots, test them. That pilot didn't work, never got picked up. That pilot didn't work, never got picked up. Advertisers loved this one. This one got backed. We're moving forward, right? So that was kind of how things used to work. And now streamers put a wrench in that plan, which was kind of good, right? Because I think actors went crazy January through April, but now things are cast all the time through all of the year. And it could be that Netflix buys a packaged product from CAA with already named actors attached. And then they purchase that and then they end up producing it on their own. right? It could be that they buy a script from a writer and they shelve it for 2 years and then they decide to move forward and produce it. It could be that a filmmaker has created 6 episodes of a new series and they buy the entire series and just put it on their platform. So there is no one process right now of what actors, oh, excuse me, of what the streamers are doing. They're still trying to figure it out. And this is part of why the industry feels slow right now, are these streamers are still figuring it all out. And they all have different processes. I mentioned at one point in my training that I did this past week, that I was reading an article about one of the producers at Apple TV and just saying that, historically, they were doing a lot of buying of big projects, that they would go to WME and UTA and CAA and buy, say, a packaged product with name stars for even like $150 million and put it on their platform. And now they're realizing that, and this started with Wolves that had George Clooney and Brad Pitt, that did not generate as much more income or viewership or subscriptions as they thought, as even their stuff with, I will say, no name actors. So they're realizing they don't need to invest $150 million anymore, that people just want good content. So now they're even talking about, which is why I think we're seeing a resurgence of indie film, and I think we will continue to see it, and we haven't even gotten to the cusp of it yet, or the precipice of it yet. Rather, that they're saying, why wouldn't we? This article was saying, why wouldn't we go to a writer, a filmmaker, buy their script for $250,000, $1 million, and make it themselves for 15 million, as opposed to spending 150 million. Now, of course, this has big agencies up in arms, right? Because that they were part of that whole monetary process. But streamers are trying to figure out how to do it cheaply, but still deliver great content. So this is what the process is right now. So there is no one process, and even the processes that I've just said to you, that's probably going to shift and change over the next 3 to 6 to 9 months. So this is why I will say again, we get to pay attention. We get to read these headlines from the Hollywood Reporter and Deadline and go, oh no, that one's worth my time. Let me read it. Right? Get these notifications on your phone. Stay on top of stuff. Right? If theater is your thing, sign up for Variety, get notifications, read those headlines, Playbill, whatever it may be. We need to know what's going on with the industry. We need to know that so-and-so might be striking. We need, right? Like the IATSE was striking in New York. Like I had a client who was in an off-Broadway show. They were in rehearsals. They were about to go, but IATSE was about to strike. So producers pulled the show. They came to an agreement. My client's flying back to New York, doing the show, right? But we need to know what's going on because it affects the industry as a whole. So I love that you're asking these questions, Emmanuel. And I think it just goes back to how important it is for us to stay on top of the trends of the business. And if that's hard for you to do, and I understand it's a lot to balance, that's why you get to be in a community, a like-minded community of people who are doing that. So we can share information with each other. We can help each other. We can support each other. That's what happens in the Actors Think Tank. Again, that early bird pricing does end at 9 p.m. tonight. I'm always in there sharing information because we get to be in the know of how this industry is shifting and changing. That is so important. And it should be, and I'm shooting on you, and I don't normally shoot on you. It should be a part of your business plan. And if it's not, you get to change that. Let me know if that makes sense, Emmanuel. Let's see, on YouTube, Chad says, hi, Chad. No question, really, just saying hi. Good to see you. How are you doing? I hope you're well. I am well, Chad. Things are picking up in the business here. I'm feeling it. I'm excited. Just got an audition right before coming on here for a 6-episode series for a lead in that. So I get to work on that this weekend. But yeah, things are moving and shaking, right? Things are moving and shaking. They're starting to move and shake. And if you don't feel that that's what's happening in your career, we get to change that. We do get to change that. Okay, so let me just put this back up so you guys know you can ask questions. Whoops. Oh my God. Press it once, Jody. There we go. But see, the thing is, like, sometimes we know we need to change things, right? Emmanuel says that makes perfect sense. Great. Sometimes we know we need to change things, but we get in resistance to it, right? How many times have you had a project on your task list, whether that be, oh, headshots. Oh, I went to that film festival. I should follow up with these people. Oh man, I know that I need this clip and I don't have that footage. I need to do something about that. Yeah, I started my pitch email because I want to get an agent, but yeah, I just haven't finished it yet. How many times Have you done something like that? Let me know in the chat. How many times have you let things roll over and roll over and roll over on your task list? Task list. That was a tongue twister. Probably a lot. Probably a lot. I can guess a lot. And why does that happen? Because I know that you want it, right? You know that you want it. I mean, that is the definition of self-sabotage, right? There's something you want to do and then you're just not taking the action. That is the definition of self-sabotage. Why does that happen? Resistance. We get in resistance to things, right? Oh, you know what? Yeah, if I hear that we're branding one more time, do you know what I mean? Oh, I don't want to. I don't want to brand. Why are they talking about brand? I just want to show up and do good work. So we resist, right? Oh, my headshots are fine. Why do I need to, get new pictures? These are fine. They're working. They look like me. We resist. Um, I really want to do this agent campaign, but what if it doesn't work out? What if I don't get any interviews? What if? We resist and we give in to limiting beliefs. That resistance will never work. It just perpetuates more resistance. Val says every day. Yeah, it just perpetuates more resistance. So how's that working out for you? It's not. It's just keeping you in the same place, right? So we need to, and we get to start to move through that resistance to be able to embrace a new way of doing things. And that is what I help my actors do. That's what I help my clients do, is really move through that resistance. So many of us have resistance. And let's see, I say a lot of times it stems from fear, right? The fear of, well, what if I do this? What if I brand and nothing changes? What if I get new pictures and I still don't get auditions? What if I do this agent campaign and I get no bites? So guess what? I'm not going to do it, right? Because we live in that fear. So we don't take any action. Why? Because it's safer. Because your brain is designed to keep you safe. It is designed to keep you safe. That's what it does. So either you're going to listen to your monkey mind and listen to your brain and go, yeah, okay, I'm not going to send that pitch. Or you're going to change. You're going to make change and find a new way of doing things and move through that resistance. And you do need support moving through that resistance. I needed support moving through that resistance when I was younger. I'm up leveling. I just wrote a feature film. We're going to be doing one more pass of a rewrite on it. I've been reaching out to producers. I wrote this for me to star in. It's a $2.5 million movie. Do you think I have resistance? Of course I do. I hired a coach to help me through that. So I can up level my mindset into a $2.5 million mindset of starring in a feature, right? We all get to do this because we're all constantly leveling up. We're leveling up. We're leveling up. And as we level up, those limiting beliefs get louder, or they emerge again, or they appear again because we're at a new place in our businesses and in our careers. But if you've been spending that time in resistance, think of how much energy you've been wasting there. I guarantee you it's been a lot. Just think if you took even 20% of that energy, 30% of that energy into a new way of doing business, into new systems, into new ways of thinking, into new strategies. Just think how much further along you would be with even 30% of a change, right? And again, that's what the Actors Think Tank does. That's what it offers you. Again, that's what we're here to talk about, right? Registration closes fully on Friday. My early bird pricing does end tonight at 9 p.m. You can go to the Actors Think Tank, read about it. Send me a DM, email me if you have questions. I want this to feel like a hell yes for you. I want you to love it. I'm not here to sell or push anything. If it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, great. But I know how much it has moved the needle in people's careers. John says on Facebook, I resisted for almost 50 years and now I'm ready. That resistance is huge. It is huge. And you're not alone. You are not alone if you've been feeling that. Again, Misty said countless times, every day. Val said paradigms, right? We do it a lot. Why? Because it's scary. But the only difference between successful people and people who are still struggling are the successful people feel that fear and they feel that resistance and they move through it anyway. They move through it anyway because the goal isn't comfort. The goal isn't, I must not feel any fear and then I can press send on this email. No, the goal is, you know what? I feel fear, but I know what my bigger picture is. And that means more to me than the fear in this moment. So I'm going to press send on this damn email. Does that make sense? Let me know if this makes sense. Jumping up, Jody. Thank you so much for all this. You're welcome, Misty. I'll see you in the think tank. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, it's noon already. This time went by so fast. As time went by so fast. So let me know if anyone else has any questions before we start to sign off here. Let me see if there's anything else on YouTube. Nothing there. Yeah, let me know. This will be up for replay. I will be paying attention. If you do have any questions, you can tag me. I will make sure to answer them. But as I said, the early bird pricing to the Actors Think Tank does end tonight at 9 p.m. So if you've been feeling powerless, if you've been feeling disheartened, if you've been feeling out of control, in this industry. I get it. I get it. But also, you're listening to this right now, or you showed up right now because deep down, you know that you want it. Deep down, you know that you are an actor. Deep down, you know that you still get to shine, that you still have more to do in this world, that you still have a legacy to leave, that you still have more things to book. And if that's how you're feeling and you just don't know how to get there, let's change that. Just go to theactorsthinktank.com, send me some questions. I want to support you. Oh, and let me just say this thing. Yeah, so there are, whoops. Oh God, that hair was tickling my arm. The early bird pricing does end tonight, so I do invite you to take advantage of that. I always want to support actors in my pricing. My pricing is very affordable to begin with, but there is an early bird pricing that will end tonight at 9. And I want to say that there is a 14-day money back guarantee on any of my products, because I want you to feel, again, I want you to feel like this is a hell yes. And if you're like, oh, I don't know, is this a thing for me? Sign up, get in there, look around, do some of the lessons. And if it resonates, great. If you're like, nah, this isn't what I wanted, cool, no questions asked. Right. So just know there is that. The other thing that I do for my actors, again, because I am an actor and I get it. If you are in the membership and whether you're paying monthly or yearly, and you're like, hey, Jody, I just booked a job for like 2 months. I'm not going to be able to focus on this. Cool. We can pause you for up to 3 months. So that way you won't get charged, but you'll be locked into your rate and you can come back when you're ready. So just know that we do that as well. So those are other things that we do that I know a lot of other memberships don't do for actors, because I get it. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you're on the fence or if you're thinking about it, that we do have that 14-day money back guarantee, and we can pause you if but I'm going to be out of town for 2 months, or, have a family vacation and I can't focus on this for a while. Cool. We can pause you. All right. I just wanted to say that. All right, team, this has been so great. Again, thank you so much for showing up for you. Again, as I said at the top of this, the past few years in our industry has been no joke. And the fact that you are here, that you are curious about what else you can do to move the needle and up level is huge, because most actors aren't doing that. Most of them are blaming the industry and complaining, or they've left the industry. But you still have a passion and a drive and a desire to get that career that you want, to get that. And I really acknowledge you for that. And if it makes sense to you, I'd love to support you on that journey. All right, team. Have a great rest of your day. I am around all week to answer your questions because, as I said, registration does end Friday at 9 p.m. Pacific. And again, that early bird pricing does end tonight. So I'm around. If you have questions, please shoot me an email, a DM, comment here. But I do really want to support you as we move forward. All right, team. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. It's going to take me a second to end everything here, so I might look really awkward while I do it. And